how to set up properly before driving off in your driving test. So what you've got to pay attention to, that your feet, number one, your feet are positioned properly, that your knees are in a good position, also your hips, okay, so your lower back, your neck, and your elbows, okay, so your elbows should never be stretched up like this, okay. So the best way to do it is to measure up by basically just stretching your arms like this, and if your wrists reach the top of the steering wheel, that is the good position, okay. One important thing that you got to understand is we should never adjust the mirror before we adjust the seat. So we would always adjust the seat first. So this particular vehicle has the electronic, adjustments, while, a lot of others have just a manual type, adjustment. So be careful when you're adjusting it, and understand that you will always adjust your seat before you adjust your mirror. We had a lot of questions by people asking, is that the rule that you have to measure your arms and make sure that your wrists reach the top of the steering wheel? No, it's not, but it's excellent guide. If you ask me, it is great guide. Sometimes people have a little bit longer arms, sometimes a little bit, they have a little bit longer legs, but you've got to understand that this is the best guide. And after you've done that, just make sure that you adjusted all the mirrors. Firstly, the rear view mirror and the side mirrors. So side mirrors, that's a topic for another video, but try to adjust them so you can see more of the road and less of your car body. So that's really important. So number one is your feet. They shouldn't be too far, they shouldn't be too close. Your knees, they've got to be nicely bent, okay? They shouldn't be stretched too much, and they shouldn't be too sort of tight, too close, okay? So number three is your hips or lower back, okay? Number four is your elbows. Your elbows should never be stretched up like this, because you're not going to be able to handle your vehicle properly if you stretch your arms like this, okay? So you've got to be flexible in your elbows. You shouldn't cramp up, you shouldn't be too tight. They should always be nicely moving, and when you're steering, it's got to be effortless. And number five is your neck, and how far you are from the headrest, in case of an accident. Reportedly 50% of people still fail their assessment before they even start because of their improper seat adjustment. So do make sure that you take some time to understand how you should be positioned in the vehicle before you go for your test. Now, a lot of times people ask us if they can just borrow the car because they can drive. So that would mean that they just sit in the car with the assessor without prior sitting in the vehicle ever at all. So that would be a bit risky, because even the most experienced drivers would need at least a couple of minutes to adjust and, to get the feel of the car and to get the hang of everything, inside of the car. So, and clearly mirror adjustments and your seat adjustments. So that's not a good idea. So we don't have that service. The minimum that we offer would be a 45 minutes warm-up lesson before your driving assessment, and to use a professionally equipped vehicle for your driving assessment. Now, if you find an option with the different driving school, I strongly recommend that you take at least about 15 minutes, just a quick spin around the driving test center before you go for your driving assessment. So it's just not worth taking a risk. Make sure that you set up properly before you go for your assessment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.